Liberty or Give Me Death by Patrick Henry, 1775, addressed to the House. Mr. President, no man thinks more highly than I do of the patriotism, as well as the abilities of the very worthy gentlemen who have just addressed this House. But different men often see the same subject in different lights, and therefore I hope it will be not thought disrespectful to those gentlemen if, entertaining as I do, opinions of a character very opposite to theirs, I shall speak forth my sentiments freely and without reserve. This is no time for ceremony. The question before the House is one of an awful moment to this country. For my own part, I consider it nothing less than a question of freedom or slavery. Should I keep back my opinions at such a time, through fear of getting offense? I should find myself guilty of treason towards my country, and an act of disloyalty towards the majesty of heaven, which I revere all earthly kings. Mr. President, it is natural to man to indulge in the illusions of hope. We are apt to shut our eyes against a painful truth and listen to the song of that siren, till she transforms us into beasts. Is this a part of wise men engaged on a great arduous struggle for liberty? Are we disposed to be the number of those having eyes, see not, and having ears, hear not, the things that so nearly concern the temple of salvation? For my part, whatever anguish of spirit it may cost, I am willing to know the whole truth, to know the worst and to provide for it, if we wish to be free, if we need to preserve and violate those inestimable privileges for which we have been so long contending, if we need not basely abandon the noble struggle in which we have engaged, that we gentlemen have pledged ourselves never to abandon till the glorious object of our contest shall be obtained. We must fight. I repeat, sir, we must fight. An appeal of arms unto the God of hosts is all that is left us. They tell us, sir, that we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be next week? Or the next year? Shall it be when we are totally disarmed, and a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope till our enemy shall bound us hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak. If we make proper use of the means the God of nature hath placed in our power, 3 millions of people armed in the holy cause for liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are made invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us. Besides, sir, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God that presides over the destinies of nations. It is to the vigilant, the active, the brave. Besides, sir, we have no election. Even if we are base enough to desire it, it is already too late to retire from this contest. There is no retreat, but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking can be heard from the plains of Boston. War is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat, sir, let it come. It is in vain, sir, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry peace, but there is no peace. War has already begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north shall bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why we stand here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What do they have? Is life so dear or peace so sweet that is to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God! I know not the course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. Give me liberty or give me death by Patrick.